Like I said, we got a lot to cover tonight, but we're going to bring on a very special guest. Joe, one of my favorite players, and he was on a couple months ago too, so we definitely appreciate this. It's Ty Montgomery. Ty, it's Joe and Tyson. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me again. How you guys doing?
Oh, dude, it's the opening week, man. You know we're all fired up, so we appreciate a few minutes of your time.
Of course, of course.
Well, Ty, before we get started, we came across your website, IamTyMontgomery.com, which is super informative. Can you share some thoughts on that and some of the things you're trying to do in the community?
Yeah, I've always said my platform is not just for me. It's bigger than myself. And football is a sponge. Coach Shaw taught me that at Stanford, and I want to bring out as much as possible. And I really just want to give back as much as I can. And I've started with foster kids, foster families. I've been involved in foster parent recruitment. I've been involved in paying for legal fees through my foundation, my 10%, for some adopted kids back in Wisconsin. I've helped start a program, Accelerate, for foster teens aging out of foster care in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I would love to get something going, get some work with the program here in New Jersey, New York area through my foundation, my 10%, which is really we're all about giving kids hope for a future that they desire and faith that not only what they desire is possible, but that it will come to fruition. I think that's lost in a lot of kids, especially kids that come up through the foster care system. I myself, having 17 foster brothers, maybe even more, I've seen that. It's one thing to have hope, but it's another thing to actually believe that what you hope for will happen.
Ty, it's Joe, man, and I want to thank you for all that you do with the My 10% and everything that you do for the community. It's absolutely beautiful to hear about, and you're out there doing everything you can to help and help change lives as well. But with the football side, as a veteran player, do you still get excited for opening day?
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's been a long time coming. Preseason is one thing, but nothing's like the real deal when it counts. Game plans are more in depth. Guys are playing faster. Everything means more. Everything matters. I'm really excited about this. My hands are sweating as I talk about it. I'm trying not to peak too soon. It's only Monday, so Tuesday. It's only Tuesday, so I'm trying not to peak too soon.
Yeah, Ty, what has it been like getting used to the Jets and Coach Gase and the offense and all that? Has it been a big challenge, or has it been a pretty smooth transition?
It's been a pretty smooth transition. I love all the guys here. We all get along. Same thing with the coaching staff and everyone in the front office. Obviously, there's been some changes this year. A lot of things are brand new, but everyone is getting along. Everyone is buying into what's going on, and we're all in right now. And we're really excited to make some things happen this year.
You had a ton of touches in the preseason. By the way, you ran like a beast, let me tell you. I was watching a lot of these games, and I'm seeing you just out there dusting guys. I'm loving watching that. But are you excited about the Jets' offense and your usage within the offense as well?
100%. First I want to say thank you for your compliments. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. But I'm excited for this offense. I think I've said it before. One of the things I really like about Coach Gase is he sees all of his guys as football players and what is it that they bring to the team and how can he utilize their skill set the best. He doesn't look at a guy as, oh, you're a tight end, so that means you're just supposed to block and catch. He says, oh, if you're a tight end and you can run routes like a slot receiver, or you can run the football, then that's what he's going to have you doing. So I think it's pretty cool that Gase is just a very creative guy. He has a lot of fun doing it. And he's just going to put guys in the best position possible to succeed on the field. And, all of us are buying in to what we got going on offense right now.
And Ty, the one thing we noticed, especially at the green and white scrimmage they had at MetLife, was, dude, you are jacked. I mean, you're in phenomenal shape, but you have a lot of a lot of size to you, which is impressive for your speed. Is it something that you try to gain size in the off season, or do you do conditioning to put on a lot of muscle?
I'm gonna be honest, man. It's a lot of genetics. To God be the glory for what He's given me. but I do work hard as well. I've started paying attention more to my diet, what I'm putting into my body, and also just taking care of my body on the daily. You know, being a professional athlete is a 24/7, 365 days a year job. You know, there is an off season, but, you know, in my mind, there's technically no off days. I always have to be in shape. Always got to stay ahead of the curve. And, you know, I work really hard, but I'm also blessed. So thank you.
Oh, no problem. I'll tell you, we were surprised. You're running around. You're like, damn, like it's incredible to watch, especially how fast you are. Now, do you do a lot of recovery stuff in terms of maybe like cryotherapy or yoga or anything, like, or ice baths to help recover faster, to get back on the field faster?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I do that every day. Something I learned from my trainer back in Houston, Abdul Foster. And, you know, he taught me this from training his brother, Arian Foster, of just staying on the table every single day. You know, even if you're not injured, you can always be getting something done in the training room. You could be getting stretched. You could be getting Graston. You could be getting dry needling. You could be seeing a chiropractor. Whatever it is, you just want to stay proactive. You want to be more proactive than you have to be reactive. Sometimes things happen. You know, we play the game of football. It's definitely a dangerous sport, so you're going to have to be reactive sometimes. But the more you can prevent things from happening and you can stay ahead of it and be proactive, the better. I do a lot of cold tub, a lot of hot tub. I do a lot of sauna cold tub contrast. You know, I actually learned that from Eric Weddle in my short time in Baltimore. So one of the things that I really like doing as well is I love doing float tanks. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite things to do. It's really relaxing. I get some time to just meditate and just quiet my mind while my body relaxes.
Now that you've seen Sam Darnold in action, what are your thoughts on him?
Talented, very, very talented. He moves well in the pocket. He's got great instincts, great awareness. He's picking up the offense really fast. He's got a lot on his plate, and he's very much handling it. He also has a great arm. He's got a really quick release, and he's made some incredible throws that I've seen on film that, you know, some of the guys in the running back room, you know, we're always kind of like, what in the world just happened? Like, how did he make that throw? So he's pretty fun to play with, and he also throws the ball well on the run, moving around outside of the pocket, extending plays, and he's actually got some wheels. He's a little faster than I thought he was going to be when I first came in. I'm not going to lie. So I very much enjoy playing with him.
And I see that you two kind of have a lot of chemistry built up already, especially within this new system. What are some of the things that you two may have worked on to just kind of get yourself ingrained in the system to build that?
We just stay in constant communication with one another, you know, on the field, off the field at times. You know, we do a lot of QB, RB exchanges in practice. We're always making sure that all those technical things are sound, and as well as throwing the ball, routes on air. I try to be everywhere for him, and I let him dictate what he wants to see from me. And then there's some times where I want to work on something and just get a feel for how he may see something or throw something. And there's some times where, you know, we've also gotten extra reps after practice as well. So it's been good. You know, we have a solid relationship.
Once again, we're speaking with Ty Montgomery, who's super cool to give us a few more minutes, and he's an emerging fan favorite, which I know you see on your social media. Ty, what is it like playing alongside Le'Veon Bell?
Oh, man. It's tough to even put that into words. Playing with one of the greatest running backs to do this, you know, I don't think that's a secret. I don't think that's hyping him up by any standpoint. He's very, very talented. He blocks really well. He has great feet. He's got great vision. He's really explosive in and out of his hips, especially his lateral movements. And it's been really fun to watch him, as well as learn from him. He's given me some tips, and he's helped me see some things differently. And it's really cool because he's also open to learning as well. You know, sometimes sometimes guys reach his stature and they're not as receptive to new information. But there's been times where he's asked me how I see things or how I may pick up certain things. So it's been a really cool back and forth relationship where there's a lot of give and take. But I'm really learning a lot from him. And he has such a deep knowledge of the game. I mean, if you guys ever get the chance to sit down and talk football with him, I would highly encourage that. But he sees the game in this very unique way that helps him be successful. It's really cool, and it's I'm grateful to be able to learn from him and to be next to him.
And the other story, I guess, in training camp has been how competitive the defense is and how Greg Williams is always challenging the offense and Jamal Adams and all those guys. How much does that help in the offense? Are you used to that kind of competitive environment where it's that kind of crazy?
It has been kind of crazy, but in a good way. I think this is the first time I've been in a training camp where there's been a lot of call-it periods, and what I mean by that, a lot of times what happens is defensive coaches and offensive coaches, they'll get together and they'll sit down and they'll script certain plays that they want to run and certain things that they want to see versus certain looks. But throughout training camp, it's been a lot of Coach Gase calling plays versus Coach Greg Williams calling plays, and it's just guys playing football, seeing things and reacting to things, and it's been a lot of fun. And I think it's only going to help make us better in the long run. But it's been very, very competitive, and that's a good thing.
One of the things I love about you as a player, especially working within our offense, is the versatility that you bring. And I see when they can bring you out wide and match you up with guys, you're a matchup nightmare out there because you can run routes and you can catch the football. Your hands are so great. What do you do in the offseason to work on those things? How do you get your route running to the level that you have?
A lot of things I picked up from playing receiver 4 years in college and being drafted as a receiver and then having a little bit of time at receiver in Green Bay. Some of those things have never left me. And, in the off seasons, I just pick my days. Some days I pick receiver. Some days I pick running back. Some days I do both. I find a way to incorporate both skill sets into a workout. But I'm always honing my skills. I think one of the things that makes me unique in this league that I bring to the table is my ability to do a multitude of different things, to be able to go out and run the full route tree, double moves, comebacks, post routes, and, not just check downs, but then as well being able to get into the backfield and run inside zone, outside zone, run power, pick up blitzes. So I just really try to touch up everything. And I think that's crucial for me because I think that's what makes me unique.
One of the things we appreciate about you as well is your high football IQ. When you step out there on the field, what are some of the things that you look at within the defense to kind of tip your hand and tell you what they might be doing?
It all depends on each team and each guy. Some guys have their tails and some guys don't. One of the things I've learned about defense is you can only hide so much. You can try to disguise the coverage, but if your statistics tell us that versus or with a certain defensive front, this is the type of blitz you bring or this is the type of coverage you bring, it doesn't matter what your coverage disguise looks like. I have a pretty good idea of what's going to come based on what we've seen in film and what we've studied. And like I said, some guys have their tells, when they're blitzing, when they're not blitzing versus, when they're running certain coverage or when they're going to quick jam you if you're outside or if they're going to bail. It just comes through film study, and as you play the game, you just get a feel for what guys are doing, and you just adapt.
Do you set personal goals for yourself during the season?
I do. It's something I've been working on. I didn't necessarily in college, but it's something I've started working on recently this past year. And I've been setting some goals for myself, and I've been trying to keep them to myself. So I'm probably not going to share any.
So, Ty, the other question we have for you is, the defensive side of the ball has a lot of guys that kind of talk a little bit. Do you share anything back with them, or do you kind of just let your actions speak for themselves?
Sometimes, I'm always out there having fun. I guess for me personally, anytime it feels like a guy is no longer having fun with it, that's when I start to stop engaging with a guy. I try to keep a good, clean heart out there and just, try to have fun. I like to talk smack. I like to have fun, but anytime it starts to feel like it's getting combative or, a guy's not just playing football or just trying to get an edge or something, that's when I usually, just try to let my actions speak. I'm always trying to be a light on the field. I'm a big believer in Christ. So I believe in always keeping a good, clean heart, whether you're on the football field or off the field. And I understand some guys do it because that's how they gain an edge. I've done that before. I can see that something I might say might get to a guy, but I always try to keep it light. At this level, you got to find any way you can to gain an advantage and to have fun out there.
Okay, Ty, well, this Sunday, MetLife Stadium, you're making your Jets debut, Jets-Bills. The crowd is going to be absolutely insane with Jet chants and everything else. Do you have a message for all the Jet fans out there?
I'm excited for that. Let's keep it loud and proud. Let's sell out every home game. I would love to see that. Love to see the fans get into it as much as the guys get into it. So supporting their team, cheering loud and proud. As I'm listening to the intro of the radio show, I started getting a little hype. The Jets, Jets. I'm looking forward to hearing a lot of that.
Oh, I do. I guarantee you, man, it is going to be complete chaos on Sunday. So, first of all, thank you for joining us tonight. Best of luck this season, man. We're big fans of yours, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys.
Have a great night, man. Thank you.
You too.
All right, Joe, Ty Montgomery. I am TyMontgomery.com. Excellent spot. And, dude, it's so cool to hear how excited he is, man. He's like, I can't wait to hear the chant. I can't wait to hear the fans. My hands are sweaty. Like, dude, you can't get better than that.